Neil here from Geauga Firearms Academy. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to expand our series on home defense. I'm going to give you some tips that can help you keep your home more secure. So let's get started. Ideally what we want to do is we want to create as many layers of security as possible. Now of course we don't have to come up with a barbed wire fence and make our house look like a prison, but there are some very good techniques and methods that we can use to add to the security of our home, and it all comes down to creating layers. So first and foremost, the first layer I want to talk about is lighting. And there's two types of lighting really that we want. We want a static lighting, a lighting that's always on around the house, preferably a 360 degree illumination. Nothing super bright. We don't want to make this ridiculous. Just something that shows light so that it's easy for you to see outwards of what's around the property. And if anybody approaches, they know that obviously there's going to be lighting. The second one is motion activated lighting. Very, very critical and very inexpensive. You can find motion activated lights pretty much at any Walmart or hardware store. And they're really handy. They're very, very bright. They don't come on unless, of course, there's motion. And so this does two things. One, it will immediately illuminate the situation, whether it's just a stray cat or if it is, in fact, someone who shouldn't be there. But importantly, other than just lighting it up, it also tells you exactly where you need to put your attention. So if all of a sudden the lights come on over here, we know that there's something going on that we need to check out. The next one is dogs, and that's obviously totally optional. When I say dogs, I'm not talking about you got to go get a fully trained guard dog. Any dog, no matter how small it is very, very good. They have excellent hearing, and all you need this dog to do is to alert you. Someone that starts barking because suddenly something's unusual, and draw your attention there. So now we have lighting and potentially a dog with obviously better senses than we have to let us know that, hey, there might be something over here that you need to check out. Now, of course, if you have a larger dog that is a little, even if they're super friendly, puts out the image there that you probably don't want to mess with them, well, once all the better, right? But dogs is a great option, and of course, man's best friend. Another thing, of course, is landscaping. We'll talk about fences in a bit, but fences aren't always the best option depending on where you live, especially if you're the only house in the street with fencing. That could be a little odd. But bushes, for example, rose bushes, they're very, very thorny, and they're also very attractive. They can obviously add to the curb appeal of your home, but they can also do that secondary function of being a prickly mess if someone's trying to crawl into a window or what have you. It's not obviously a huge deterrent, but it does help. Nobody wants to go crawling through thorny bushes to try to gain entry to your house if they can avoid it. Plus, you know your house better than anybody, and you know the best places that you would enter if you had to, right? So use that to your advantage and think about strategically placing not even thorny, but just large bushes that make it difficult for someone to get through, or they have to make a whole lot of noise in order to get through that. Let's talk about the first thing people think of, alarms. Technology has played a huge part in alarms, and things have come a long way. I just want to talk about some of the older systems, or systems that are still around today, but you may not think of things like this. For example, if you have a wired system, in other words, a phone line system that when the alarm goes off it contacts the police, that is going to be pretty much useless to any criminal with above average intelligence. We all just assume that all criminals are nincompoops, but that's not always the case. It doesn't take very much effort or knowledge to cut a phone line. And once they do that, although the alarm may or may not go off, there is no chance of that call going out to police. In addition, when you think about it in today's society, when alarms go off, it's really not that big a deal. Maybe after 5 or 6 minutes, when the neighbors are finally aggravated, they might try to come over themselves or call your house, or maybe they'll call the police, but that's a long bit of time. Not to mention that someone's probably already been in the house for that amount of time. So you need a system that runs off a cellular network. Simply Safe is just a brand that I know off the top of my head. It's a very inexpensive system. It is very good. In fact, it's one that you can actually wire yourself. I'm really not into having companies come over and spend all the money to wire systems that you could literally do yourself. You know your windows, you know your doors, you know your points of entry. And so this is something that you can set up yourself. And the benefit to this, being a cellular system, is that the system can't be cut. That also, even if the power goes off, it will still function. The other last part of this is signage. It's the cheapest, easiest thing to throw out there. Put a sign that says protected by so-and-so's security system, or whatever the case may be, or beware of dog. Sometimes those work more or less for your basic kids or low-level people who are just trying to break in when hopefully no one's there, kind of an opportunity type deal. But I wouldn't really rest my security just on a simple sign alone. The last part, of course, is motion-activated machine gun turrets. Oh, I'm just kidding. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. Hopefully it's helpful for you. If you did, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I always appreciate that. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already, and you'll be notified every time I put out a new video. Comment away, but please don't fight. Until next time, remember, it's always better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6.